आज मैं हिंदी के बारे में बात करूंगी. So what does that mean? Today I'm going to speak to you a little bit about Hindi and my experiences using Hindi, navigating India with my second language. So also backing up, I don't know Hindi. I didn't grow up speaking it. It's not my family's language. My family's language is Gujarati, which I'll admit I actually don't know. Most people think I do, but I understand it, but I just could never speak it. I actually took it upon myself to start learning Hindi a couple of years ago, and this was well before I had any idea I was coming to India, but that's a separate story. So what I wanted to talk about is the fact that traveling through India, not really knowing Hindi, but also, having the experience of getting to practice and speak with so many people has been so amazing. It's been really fun. Getting to play in a new language. I've built up more confidence in Hindi, and I've definitely seen that grow over time. But at the same time, I've also done things like taken dance classes, taken courses, been to yoga classes, just a whole variety of different, been in a lot of settings where, I'm being spoken to in Hindi, and I understand it, but, maybe there's like 20% I don't understand, and sometimes that's the 20% that's really important. And, having to learn in another language, like, for example, being in dance class, other classes and courses I've taken here, has really been challenging because it's, the process of learning is hard already. And then when you're learning in a language that's not your first language, it just takes longer. It doesn't comprehend as quick. And, there's things I've gotten wrong or things I've missed. And that's okay. I've had to, give myself grace and be patient with myself in that process. But it's also given me so much empathy for people who are navigating the world in their second language or their third language or fourth language, who knows. I grew up in Canada. It was a multicultural place, but my parents had made the decision from early on to teach us English and speak to us in English when we were children, so we knew English fluently. But Toronto, Canada, Brampton is a very multicultural place, so there were so many people who came from other countries, or maybe in their families they spoke another language, and then they were learning and going through all this curriculum. And then so many immigrants coming to Canada, and not just Canada. I've lived in the US, I've lived in the UK, in London, and in all of the places I've lived have been these really big metropolitan centers. And, so many people, some of my own friends, now that I think of it, English isn't their first language. And it's a recognition, a moment for myself, but I wanted to share this with you as well, that we need to have empathy for people in this world who are navigating this world. They're still doing it. They're still making it work, but it's a little bit harder. And I can just say this from personal experience, where there's just some things I don't get, or some things I miss, or sometimes there's something someone explains to me in Hindi and then I understand what it means, but for me to then translate it back into English sometimes is also hard. Or to translate it back to someone when someone's asking you, do you understand? And you're like, yeah, it means this. And they're like, yeah. But I'm like, no, but I know what it means. Anyways, I thought I would just make a quick note about that in case anyone was curious about my experience. Also, I will say what's been really cool, all of my Gujarati friends, if you know how to read Gujarati, you can read Hindi. Like, the letters are the same. I had no idea that this was the case. And it was really cool for me the first time I tried to read Hindi, and I was like, whoa, I can read this. Granted, quite slow, but yeah, it's possible. Anyways, I think next steps for me in terms of my Hindi experience is taking it even more seriously. I have been taking lessons. They're pretty casual. They're online. And they haven't been too formal because my intentions were around just getting better at conversational Hindi, which I think I'm well past that point. So I actually think I need to, take a step deeper and improve my grammar a lot better, improve, my ability to read, maybe even start learning to write. I don't know, but I think that's where I'm at with Hindi. So, shukriya. Thank you for listening. Actually, shukriya is an Urdu word, but thanks for listening to my little rant on Hindi.